like it, I don't like it, I don't like it here. You wouldn't like it, nobody likes it, nobody likes it here.
I think it's been another week since we haven't done an episode. Did we do one this week?
I don't know. Fine to say no.
Yeah, so. Yeah, so. Yeah, I'm recording right now, so. So you finally finished the great quest. Now.
We call the Tales of Bart the Bear.
Yeah, the Tales of Bart of the Bear. And how we. Or we just call it the Arrogance of Leaf.
No. The lack of communication skills of Leaf. That's what that. Yes.
A good chunk of the whole quest could have been easily solved if people just talk to each other.
Is that a Pepsi? Right down the bottom. I'd be afraid to open that up. You know?
15 Minutes in Hell, the most realistic podcast you're ever going to listen to.
Capture everyday life.
Everyday life. But no, I had to say, a good chunk of the whole story could have easily been fixed if they just talked.
I won the last quest for sure.
Well, even a good chunk of the second quest, it was like, if like Jasmine would have just, talked to Leaf, and like Leaf would have just talked to Jasmine more. But also, to be fair, if it wasn't for Jasmine, the second quest wouldn't happen.
Yes. That's why she gets a pass.
And if they didn't, we wouldn't have lost a clock.
So we did an episode on that most tragic deaths. Number 1, Doran the Dragon Lover.
Yes.
Number 2, probably King Endo.
Where he sacrificed himself to...
Yeah. He doesn't get to see his son become king.
You wasn't expecting that, was you?
No, not at all.
That's like the whole time through the first quest, you were just hounding me.
The target and fire up.
I think we should just... I don't know. Everybody's talking. You think we should just end the episode?
No.
Okay.
If I was you, I'd take a double barrel shotgun up first, saw off. You better just kick that door open. So I want my car.
But,
Fix it.
yeah, no, because they should get at who the true heir was.
Big old 44 Magnum.
And the closer it got,
Maybe you'll look today, huh?
the more it became apparent that it was somebody we've seen, somebody we knew, and then they tried to make you think it was that one guy,
Dane. You saw that one coming.
Yeah. And then at the last minute there, you're like, oh, okay, it's Leaf. No, wait a minute, it's Jasmine. And they're like, oh, fuck no, it actually is Leaf.
That's the thing. It blew me away when I was little reading all that. That's the thing. I wish I could go back and re-experience the pleasure of redoing it for the first time.
Yeah, there's a lot of books and games like I really wish I could experience it for the first time again.
What's a few?
My favorite book, never ending story. Because I'd seen, I'm going to watch the movie. The movie only covers the first half of the book. That's it.
Wait, which book?
Never Ending Story.
Oh, okay.
It's my favorite book of all time. It's number one. And the movie, it only covers the first half. The second movie kind of covers the second half-ish. The second movie's not very good.
Yeah.
The third movie is so bad. Like, it came out the same year that the author, Michael End, died. I'd wager to bet that was a contributing factor.
Yeah.
The third movie is, oh god, it's terrible. But, so the first time I read the book and saw the differences, and then especially the whole second half.
Did you watch the movie first or read the book first?
I watched the movie first, because I grew up watching the movie as a kid, and then I read the book when I was like 13, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it just totally changed my perspective on how fantasy books work. And it's one of the few books I've read multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've read about 6 times. I usually do not reread books. There are a few exceptions.
What are some of the few exceptions?
Never Ending Story, To Kill a Mockingbird. I've read that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Some of Tolkien. Like Silmarillion. I've read Silmarillion front to cover probably more than anything else. Because it reads like a history book. The Lord of the Rings, I've read that twice.
Okay.
Hobbit, I've read it a few times. Narnia, I've read a few. Mostly fantasy stuff I like reading multiple times.
Well, what about sci-fi then? Like, what what books have you like redone multiple times in sci-fi? Because I know you want to redo Hyperion.
No. No, sir. I've re-listened to some segments of The Fall of Hyperion several times because it's like the dialogue is so good.
Yeah.
Mostly that stuff with Manny Gladstone. That second book pissed me off. It was such garbage. And I take every opportunity to.
Too bad. Should when you get a chance on Reddit.
Yep. It's like I've said this on Reddit a bazillion times. It's like the first book was so good, and he left it in this open-ended ending. And to my core, I do not believe he had any intention on continuing this. But it won the Hugo Award, and it became a bestseller. And I think his publisher was like, "We need more," and he's like, "I'll try." Because it's like the ending of the first one, and throughout the first one, sets up a ton of these questions, 0 of which are answered in Fall of Hyperion. He just presents more questions. It's like you can't answer questions by asking more questions. That's not how that works. And I couldn't even get through the Endymion. Ugh. I'm aware of what happens, and I'm okay with missing out.
Okay.
Unless it answers all my fucking questions in a satisfactory manner, no.
I'm not even going to attempt to read the last book.
Because there's so many people that will get on the Hyperion Red and be like, "Oh, I just read the first one, it's great. I can't wait for the second one." I'm like, you better temper that enthusiasm, because it's Disappointment Boulevard.
Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
And nothing makes sense.
I still enjoyed the whole ride.
if it's like the first one, I might revisit and reread or re-listen to.
Right after you forgot everything else.
Because the first one is really good. The story's really good. The dialogue's really good. And I just have to push out and just have to act like the other three don't exist.
Just like, because the best part was the strike.
Well, then and the mystery with the Shrike, and then it's this weird time travel thing with the AI's ultimate being, and it makes no sense. And you spend so much time with the fucking constable, only to find out that he was a triple agent, and he has zero effect on the story.
And that he hit Earth.
Has no effect on the storyline. He's Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. No effect on the storyline whatsoever. Despite his efforts.
He tries his best.
And even at the end, I don't know if you remember, at the end there, it's like he comes to the ousters and, reveals all this, that the AI is actually the one, the Technocore is the one making a fake fleet that they're saying is you and everything, and you think something's going to happen because he's laid out this huge revelation to the ousters, and they're just like, what was the point of that?
The next set of books you need to listen to is the Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter or Monster Ranger?
Monster Hunter International.
International.
It is MHI is this fantastic kind of horror series where this in the 1800s this redneck down from Louisiana named Bubba Shackelford.
Bubba Shackelford, you say?
Bubba Shackelford ends up finding these zombies and ends up killing them, and he decides, you know what? I'm going to make this a habit of it. I'm going to make a living off this, because also around the same time there was no real professional, even though there was puff eccentrics from Roosevelt. Because this happened around Roosevelt's time, where he's like, you know what? Like, let's say once you do it, like Roosevelt was like apparently a monster hunter at one point. If I'm being honest, I believe that 100% that he was a monster hunter.
Which Roosevelt? Teddy?
Teddy. Who else? But
oh
yeah.
no, and just this. Sorry, this is popping my head because I'm going through the big in Del Toro. This is just out of nowhere. The whole Night of Dragons, they destroy the Grey Tide at Hera, at the City of the Rats. So, do the people of No Rats go back to Hera? We get nothing! Nothing! Their city has been cleansed of rats by dragon fire. There's no reason to stay at No Rats. So continue.
Well, anyway, so it basically take and it's generation after generation of Shacklefords, like bringing like all these people together to hunt monsters and stuff. And it's really good.
So they're the Van Helsings of the Deep South.
Yeah, and there's like other monster hunting groups like around the world and stuff. Dude, they even talk. Time for me to go back, but real quick, there's even a talk of kaiju hunters over in Japan. That's the thing. Like when you get a chance, just listen to Monster Hunter International.
How many books is it?
There's a good few, but Jess got hooked on it. We got digital and physical copies. That's the thing. I got Jess so hooked on it. They just released the new books, like the new memoir, and it is fantastic. So we're gonna call it a day there.